Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miguel Clemente, eHealth Support Manager of the ERN TransplantChild, and I will be presenting the audit plan that is in place to ensure the quality of our PITR registry. The Pediatric Transplantation European Registry was built under the scope of the ERN TransplantChild, and it collects information on pediatric patients that have received any type of solid organ transplantation or hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. It focuses on collecting information common to all types of transplantation, but also considers the individualities of each type of transplantation. This registry integrates the clinical data that is recorded by the clinicians with the quality of life information reported directly by patients through the use of a mobile application. For all this to work properly, PITR operates under a data quality framework that is supported by a quality assurance plan designed to ensure strong governance, high data quality standards, and full compliance with ethical and legal requirements. It ensures the data that is stored in the registry is unique, complete, accurate, up-to-date, consistent, compliant, coherent, interpretable, relevant, and reliable, while following international standards to the greatest extent possible. It is based on continuous evaluation and improvement mechanisms set in place to ensure the aforementioned traits are achieved. The mechanisms for continuous evaluation are the use of pseudonymized patient identifiers, the use of standardized common data elements, data validation mechanisms built in the web registry, continuous monitoring and audits to detect inconsistencies, ensure correctness and standardized terminology across the registry, and focus on collecting relevant information. The focus on this presentation is to explain the process of the data quality audits, so I will briefly go through each other elements before diving in the audit process. Patient identification is currently automatically pseudonymized with only the user having access to the equivalence with the real identity. It is planned to adopt the use of the Spider pseudonymization tool, which is provided by the European Rare Disease Infrastructure, once every center becomes available to do so. Data collection follows a structured format using standardized common data elements and validated quality of life questionnaires adapted to the complexity of pediatric transplantation, aligned with the JRC framework to reduce the complexity of data entry. The PITR registry has an inbuilt series of preventive and corrective measures to ensure the data quality. These include error prevention during data entry, improvement, standardization, and update of dictionaries, validation rules to detect errors or inconsistencies in entered data, and reporting system to inform data owners of missing or incomplete data. And finally, we reach the audit process. Following the data quality framework, we from the Technical Secretariat make an annual review of the data recorded in PITR, focusing on 3 different dimensions that I will explain in the following slides. If there are errors detected in the analysis, it will trigger an audit to check what is wrong and implement any corrective measures. If in the data analysis there are no errors spotted, a number of patients will be selected at random to be audited. Regardless of the procedure, an audit report will be produced and a series of corrective actions will be implemented if necessary. The goal of the audits is to verify the information and ensure its quality, to identify and fix inconsistencies and errors, and to promote the use of internal control routines with the aim of producing an annual report on the PITR activity. The audits will focus on centers that have been using the PITR registry since before the 31st of December of 2025, and the selected patients will be evaluated based on 3 dimensions. These are completeness, timeliness, and accuracy. As mentioned before, there will be 2 different audits performed each year depending on the origin. Trigger audits will be initiated when anomalies in the mentioned dimensions are detected, and regular audits will evaluate a random sample of 10 patients to assess compliance. Both cases will be notified to the user with 20 or 30 working days, and a period of 30 days will be given for corrections after the audit. Regarding the methodology, how will be the audits performed? They will be performed via on-site or online meetings with Technical Secretariat. I will be present as PITR Helpdesk support, and Dr. Yadira Bravo will be there also as Work Package 5 leader. There may be other assistants such as project managers or quality advisors should there be any need for it. Let me tell you that most of the audits, most if not all, will be carried out via online meetings. Who will be audited? These audits apply to all users that are responsible for the selected patients. Generally, only one of the clinicians that has enrolled the patient will need to be present in the audit, but there may be cases such as when the patient has received a combined transplantation where there will be need for representative of both transplantation programs to be present. And finally, what will be audited? Each patient will receive a score based on 3 dimensions, which are completeness, timeliness, and accuracy. Completeness will check that the patient data is complete and will be scored based on the percentage of important fields that are completed in the registry. Timeliness will ensure that the patient data is up to date, mainly to ensure the patient data is updated once they receive a transplantation and for every follow-up session. And accuracy will check that the data is consistent to what is recorded in the electronic health records. This check will be done live by the clinician, and the technical secretariat will have no access to the electronic health records. Finally, regarding the timeline, both types of audit will be performed annually, with regular audits being in the second or third week of May, and the trigger the second or third week of October. As I mentioned, users will be notified between 20 and 30 working days prior, and the date of the audit will be agreed upon by both parties. After the audit, the users will have 30 working days to take the corrective actions that are deemed necessary, and 2 months later, the need for a revaluation will be studied by the technical secretariat, and users will be notified whether or not there is a need for any revaluation process. That is all for the presentation. I thank you for your attention, and I will now take your questions.